What's up, everyone? FANCRAFT. That's right, it's Bo here, and I am back on FANCRAFT, where today I am just now getting back actually from a little bit of a field trip. You see, I have not gone to the end yet this season, and, well, I just got back. Where this happened. No, what is going on? What is going on? Why? What? No, it's been so long. And this. You! Okay, stop it! And this. This isn't doing anything that I needed it to do. I do not feel safe. I do not feel okay. And a whole lot of this. So yeah, I'm back, but fortunately safe. Somehow, miraculously, I did not die from that whole experience. And I got some good stuff. You know, basically just some general in-busting things. I finally have legitimate diamond armor for the first time all season. But then I got a lot of this. This is what we need right here because this is going to play a big role in our big team build. So before we get started today, I need to ask you to trust me. Okay, I need you to trust me because, okay, remember Avengers Tower? Well, actually, you know what? Let's just take a look at Avengers Tower. All right, there it is. Yes, big, beautiful Avengers Tower right here, statement piece in the Marvel District, and it looks incredible. But it didn't always, okay? This was a process. It was a trust exercise, okay? Apparently not just between me and you, but the rest of the FANCRAFTers. But the thing is, it looks amazing, but it all started with this right here. You got to start at the base, all right? And so today we're going to be building the base, and you might think it's not going to look like much, and it's not going to look anything like the thing that we're going to make, but you got to start somewhere, and that's what we're doing today, because today we are making the base of the JEDI Temple. Now, the JEDI Temple is going to be the largest big team build that the crafters have ever done. In fact, I'm going right now, I'm flying around the perimeter to kind of give you an idea of just how massive this thing is going to be. And I'm a little nervous, but not too much. I'm excited to get this thing going. And that is what essentially we're going to do. We're going to be working on building out the structure that the JEDI Temple is built upon. So like, okay, let's just take some pictures. There's a lot of different interpretations of the JEDI Temple, honestly. Like, you know, you got the Lego versions, you've got the various angles that you see in movies. You've got kind of some figurines that give you a full picture. And then also it appears up on Clone Wars, which is kind of an exaggerated version of it as well. So I'm taking inspiration from all of this, but in some of those images, you may have noticed the base portion, which is uniquely small by comparison to everything else, but also a bit elaborate, which is kind of good because the rest of it's, you know, up until you get to the top anyway, it's going to be a lot of repetitive blocks. So yeah, I think this might be uniquely a beautiful start to what will be a sometimes bland build in future episodes. I don't know. I could be very wrong. It could be very interesting to look at. We just won't know until we get there. All right, so I kind of want to show you a little bit of what I have in mind for this base portion. All right, before I actually start the actual build itself, I think it'd be kind of cool for you to see. And honestly, it'll be helpful for me to just kind of have something to compare it against. Now, because we are dealing with, you know, kind of some different terrain, and obviously portions of it are going to be kind of hidden that you're not going to be able to see it. That's okay. That's fine. But it also means that there's going to be portions of the design that need a bit of a base to it. Okay, here's what I mean. So let's just go ahead. If we look at like this right here, I hope I'm doing this right. Let's see, that's 2 blocks up. Yeah. All right. So this right here would be kind of like the base area design. All right. Good. We follow in here. So like, don't just ignore this bottom portion for the time being. Okay. So it's going to be a kind of a repetitive section, essentially, is what we're going to be creating. All right. And so the idea is that there will be this kind of beautiful red border that will be on the base. And then there will be kind of this walled off area here with these red pillars on either side being red terracotta to kind of split it up and give you a lot of different color. But then there'll also be these kind of like little, you know, just kind of jutting out areas right here, which will have some end rods, which kind of gives a little bit like almost like they're holding like a double-bladed lightsaber, which is kind of cool. And then we top it off with more of like a mechanical look with these, you know, what are these things called? Andesite, polished andesite, going across a bar of some cyan terracotta. Yes. Okay. All right. So that's kind of the pattern that we're going to create. And then it's going to keep going for a very, very, very long stretch. Now, as you notice, there's going to be some section here that's actually above You know, like we've got kind of this area to fill out, and that's going to be okay. We're just going to give that kind of like we did with the, you know, spaceport over there. We're going to give that a little bit more of like a mechanical feel. You know, we're just going to put a little bit of this, maybe some of this in there, and then shaboom, shaboom. Nope, not that. Shaboom, shaboom, and right there. And it doesn't, all right, it doesn't look good, but it will. It'll all make sense in context. It'll all make sense in context. You just got to trust me. It's got to be trust me. So let's go ahead and see how far we get. Let's jump into the building. You know, there's something about these big team builds that just it makes everything so intimidating. Oh my goodness. You know, it's funny because I was thinking like this is going to be kind of cool to look at, but then it's all very repetitive. It's repetitive, and for my part, it's just a lot of math, but it's done sort of. So, yeah, we've got the base portion all laid out. You can see it in all of its massive glory from the inside. But if we pull back, you can see how nice it looks from the outside as well. Now, interestingly enough, this is like, you know, the area of the island that nobody will ever see. And so much of that detailing is on the edges. And like literally while you're in the Star Wars district, you literally only see this bit right here. And this is such a small fraction of what the actual build is going to be. And so it's very interesting. And by interesting, I mean, I don't know if this was a good idea or not, but this is what we did. Hey, This is intimidating. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this may be the most intimidating build that we've ever done. At least for me personally. Like, yeah, okay, look, this is really pretty. It's a nice looking wall, essentially. But like thinking through the pyramid and then the towers and then the way those are gonna look from down here and how tall the towers need to be, and then also just like the dimensions. The dimensions are gonna be like way off. Like they're just gonna be way off. But I mean, like that's fine, I think, as long as it looks good. Right? Let's let that be a rule. Okay? It's fine as long as it looks good. Let's just all agree to that, and then we don't have to panic about anything. Now you'll notice I've got two bars right here. It occurred to me that the base itself, like the base of the Jedi Temple, also has kind of like a landing platform essentially. And I was thinking it might be kind of cool if we kind of built this landing platform that could be essentially like a town square of sorts. I mean, admittedly a circle, but like kind of this centralized circular area, like right in the theoretical center of the Star Wars district, right? Like, I mean, I think about here as a something like that would be kind of cool. Now it would be down as opposed to lifted up, but to some extent that's kind of awesome because that means that the Star Wars district as well as the dragon and okay, so some of Tolkien Town, but this might be covered up in the future. I've got kind of a cool idea for a tree situation, like a Wookiee tree situation here, but regardless, like this could be kind of a cool area to put something like that. I don't know. I think let's just do it and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's what we'll do. You know, it does kind of feel appropriate recording this thing at night. You know, you got all the stars going and everything else. It's very Star Warsy. And yeah, so I'm standing now in the center of the landing platform, which, you know, I mean, I think I did pretty good. I mean, it's your basic, you know, landing platform. There's not a lot of frills to it. I mean, it does have some coloration here that's going to translate into what's going to be kind of the main Well, I say main. The one of the jutting out towers right here. Not even towers. Goodness. How are we going to label all this stuff? I don't know. It's going to make sense. Okay? Again, it's just like I said at the top of the video. This is a trust exercise. Do you trust me? Do you? Well, you should. You should. Look at this. Look at all of this. Oh my gosh. I hope I don't know if I trust myself. I'm going to be real with you. I do not know if I trust myself because this thing is so massive. So I did the calculations. All right. Like I've actually done the math on this. And this thing, if you think about my base from last year, right? Like my new New Yorktown base. Okay. This is on Earth 3. That thing was huge. That was a massive base, right? Well, at the very center was the Orpheum. I had like my old Podastery studio from Jackson. I had like 3 condo buildings all in that main like centralized space, which was, for all intents and purposes, like my main, kind of my base within a base, if you will. All of that plus the surrounding streets would fit inside the Jedi Temple. That's how huge this thing is. Okay? It's big. It's big. At some point I might actually when we get done, I might actually log into, if I can find a copy of Earth 3, I might actually log in just to kind of do a little bit of a comparison there. Oh man, when you're doing anything that has you're dealing with a pyramid, which essentially we're dealing with half a pyramid, but there's no front side, back side. I mean, arguably there's maybe perhaps some details, for example, over here. Yeah, I didn't put the trap doors. Obviously there's no details on this little back bottom area type deal. We just kind of had to fill it in. But I mean, I did some other stuff the end rods are there and obviously the pillars. So, it needed to look good from all angles, and it does. But anyway, the point is that there's just no real backside. Everything needs to look good from all angles. And I'm very curious how much of this is actually going to be visible from the other districts, given both how massive and upwards it's going to be, as well as, just the render distance that you get on realms. But I think for today, this is pretty good. I think we done did the thing. We've laid the groundwork. We've created the base of what will be the Jedi Temple. And we've also created a landing platform, which I'm going to be honest with you, I did not actually expect to make as part of this video, or even necessarily at all. This just kind of came together naturally. Now, whether or not this is a good idea, I don't know. I do think this is kind of cool as that centralized location for the Star Wars district. There's clearly still plenty of room. Well, I say plenty. There's still room for builds, right? You've got this area. There's plenty of, snow area. We can also extend out the snow area. Honestly, if we need to, we can extend out the snow area all the way to the platform. You know what I mean? This is an option. There's still lots of options. If, wherever anybody wants to put a store or a shop or just a build, we got this. I know that Snow has kind of expressed wanting to make a Tauntaun out in the Hoth biome. I think that would be really cool. And obviously we got the ATSD back. Thank you, Will, for that. That's looking great. I know I'm going to want to put something over here-ish in a kind of a Kashyyyk way to kind of mirror the Andorian. Andorian? Andorian, that's a different franchise. From Endor, the Ewoks, the Ewok village. That's what I meant to say. Something could go right here. Yeah, there's a lot. There's so much we still got to do here in the Star Wars district. But something that happened in previous videos when I was working on Avengers Tower is I ended up spending a lot of time making other smaller builds over here, and that's mostly because honestly, I spent so much of my time in Marvel, I kind of needed a refresher. I needed a little bit of a splash of something different. And so I think once again, I'm going to be doing something similar here while we're working on the Jedi Temple. But ironically, I want to take it back to Marvel because there's a lot of projects that I built here that honestly need a facelift, or not necessarily a facelift, but an interior lift, because we've got the PIM, building right here. And if we go inside, well, there's nothing. There's a welcome area that is not very welcoming and a big empty box that is just brimming with potential. Now, I've got concepts here, but it's kind of a big project in and of itself. So that's why it's kind of sat in the background, not really doing anything, not even making any diamonds, because I don't really have a shop for that. Now, I've got a concept for how to make diamonds there, but that's a problem for the future. And then also the web facility, which was a very popular video for this channel, which I'm really glad that people seem to enjoy that. This needs a little bit of an internal facelift. I kind of did the exterior and it looks nice, looks great. I off camera did some, graffiti work and whatnot, but it's really the interior that is just, I've never really done anything with. It's kind of a placeholder, and we can do something here that I think would give this a lot of life, and we'll tackle that, like I said, in a future video, maybe even next week. But that is going to do it for us for this week. Are you excited? That's what I want to know. Are you excited for the Jedi Temple? If you've watched all the way through, let me know. Put it in the comments that you are. And be sure to like this video because, of course, as you know, I am doing it for the likes this season. And this is one we really hope you're going to like. So that's going to do it for me. But until next time, goodbye.